and the warning they have issued Nigerians concerning an unofficial group. And according to them, the unofficial group is claiming to represent oil and gas transporters and marketers. NUPENG emphasized that this group operates without legal authority, attempting to exploit Nigerians through misleading claims. The union statement, signed by National President William Aporeha and the Secretary General Afolabi Olawale, describes these individuals as failed rent seekers in the subsidy regime and irredeemable smugglers of petroleum products who are trying to regain financial benefits since the removal of the fuel subsidy. NUPENG clarifies that the only recognized associations in the oil and gas sector include the National Association of Road Transport Owners, NATO, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, the Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria, MOMAN, and the Depot and Petroleum Product Marketers Association Nigeria, DAPMA. They affirm that only NUPENG and the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association, PENGASSEN, are legally recognized to represent oil and gas workers. NUPENG urged the public and government institutions to avoid dealings with unauthorized groups, reinforcing the importance of sticking to legitimate, established organizations for industry dealings. Earlier during the story, when I was going through it, they said that these people are just rent seekers who are trying to make some money off the subsidy removal. And it brings my attention to subsidy removal. Does it mean that there are certain people who are making money off subsidy removal? Does it mean that the legitimate people now are making money off subsidy removal, and that's why these people who allegedly are fake are coming in to also benefit from the removal of subsidy? Kenneth, I would like to bring you in on this story first.
Okay, yeah. For what you said, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
NUPENG has done noble by saying, sometimes we encounter some of these problems with the oil marketers, coming to inflate the prices of oil and all that. So if NUPENG has said they don't really know these oil marketers, that they are all identified people, and they are not dealing with them and all that, it's quite a good one. But NUPENG also should also know that we are hoping and looking on them to ensure that we get prices of fuel at a very affordable rate. It should be reduced. So if the oil marketers are a problem, if they're inflating the prices and they are trying to say they don't know them on what basis, I don't know. Let's understand their reasons very well, because I know some of these oil marketers, they have an association, okay? And sometimes they tell you that they buy the high prices and they have to sell the high prices too. So let's really know, are there the problem? Why are we still having, I think the issue should be, why are we still being sold prices of 1,000, some people buy 1,003 per liter, some buy 1,004, 1,512, 1,000. So let's know, why are these things still high and what are they doing, what is the this conversation can actually help us. If these marketers are inflating so let's know what basis, let's know what reasons, so that we can actually enjoy the dividend of the fuel subsidy.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, too. Talking about enjoying the dividends of the fuel subsidy. I don't know how much we have really been enjoying the dividends of fuel subsidy. Nigerians knew before the removal of fuel subsidy that there will be an increase when there's the removal of fuel subsidy. It's just that a lot of Nigerians never really thought it would get to where it is now. I remember then when we used to have callers who would say, even if they should take up the subsidy, when Nigerians were calling for the removal of subsidy, they should take up the subsidy, even if fuel is 500 naira, we will buy it. And at the moment, it's almost looking like 2 times or 3 times that particular price that we thought it would be when subsidy is taken off. Would you say that's a right step in the right direction, the removal of subsidy, even though it was called for by some Nigerians?
Okay, I think the removal of subsidy is a right step.
Okay.
In the right direction.
Why?
Personally speaking, but I think it came a bit too early. The removal of subsidy came at a point where we don't have any sustainable availability of this petrol. You know, we didn't have a very working refinery. We didn't have a very working refinery. I thought, or I think that the removal of subsidy would have come when we have a working refinery, when the government have been able to put our refineries in place, both the Kaduna, Warri, and the Port Harcourt refinery, where we can produce and export. You understand?
But the government told us the removal of subsidy was to prevent Nigeria from getting bankrupt.
So what has been the effect?
And I'm also asking that question, Kenneth. Well, subsidy was taken off to prevent Nigeria from getting bankrupt. But looking at where we are now, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Okay, Kenneth is off. We'll definitely have Kenneth back. I wanted to get his thought, because when he was giving his analysis, it sounded like he's also one of the Nigerians who feel like removal of subsidy was the right step in the right direction, which you also stated. But you're saying the refinery should have been fixed first. So does it mean that we would have kept, because the ideology that we were given was that we're wasting money on subsidy, and in order to save the country, subsidy was taken up. So does it mean we would have kept on wasting that money on subsidy, or spending, let's not say wasting now, does it mean we would have kept spending that money on subsidy? If the subsidy was taken off and we are where we are today, imagine it wasn't taken off, what would Nigeria's economy look like?
Okay, first of all, let me start from when the subsidy was actually removed. Going back to May 29th, when the president announced the removal of subsidy during his you know that we had a running budget where subsidy was appropriated for, and it hasn't we haven't completed that budget here before the subsidy was actually removed. So, like I said earlier, I think that we would have first of all continue with the subsidy while we fix our refineries, get them working first before any removal of subsidy.
Continue spending that money on subsidy, then the economy would have, according to what the FG has told us, gotten to a level that might have been worse than where we are today.
Where is the economy now?
Big question.
When we had subsidy, was the economy not better than what we have now, when the subsidy was actually removed?
But you are in agreement with the removal of the subsidy, just the timing you're talking about.
Yes.
So does it mean that even if it was done later, the effect would still not have been there on Nigerians?
If it was done later, I don't think the adverse effect we are seeing now would have been on Nigerians.
Because does it even look like we want to get the refineries fixed anytime soon? It means subsidy payments would have continued until God knows when those refineries will finally be fixed.
It all depends on the government. If they have the willpower, to fix the refinery.